See you a few days late. My brother got married. Thanks for giving me Monday off. I know that
Of
was
course.
tough to do, but gave me a few days buffer, and it seems like it was for the best for you, right?
Yeah, we lost our survivor pool
Oh
in
my God.
Circa.
Oh no.
It was listen, we weren't there was no call from mutual friend. It was just like shit happens. You called it all week. I feel like we should just listen to you. I even had my Chargers bet on it. And you know what really jinxed me? I apologized to the Charger fans and Justin Herbert last week. I
You
take that
did.
back. I
That
take
was
it
the
all
wrong
back.
show to do that, right?
Yeah, it
Like the
was.
wrong day
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. I take it all back. I do not apologize. I blame them. I blame the Chargers for poor play. They're the Chargers I expected. That is the kind of Charger play I expect. You lose to a rookie QB who just hustled. He ran around and he hurt his best wide receiver who was probably out for the entire year. So good
Mike,
job,
we
Chargers
talked
fans.
about it on last week's show. The
I know.
unknown variable, the
I
rookie,
know.
Jackson Dart. You know, I'm a college ball knower. The
I
guy
know.
was good at Ole Miss. The guy would win games.
I
We were
know.
picking on Russell Wilson, not Jackson Dart. I just want to let people know. The state of Mike's emotions through 4 weeks of the NFL season, we just jump on to do the podcast and he goes, "You want to lead with NBA?" He literally said, "Do you want to lead with NBA?" It's October 1st. There are no NBA games going on anywhere. And Mike does not want to talk about football. So we are spending time talking about football. It's
Listen,
over. It's over. Not everything is over. The road to
it's
10K
not.
is over. The Circa Survivor road to
Yes.
500 million or whatever is over. But
18
you
million,
could still
yes.
win like $5,000 in some of these smaller pools you're in.
Yeah, so we're still in other pools. We only have 2 picks left, so we have 2 picks left, and they're the most random picks as well. Like you like the first one is Arizona, Rams, Buffalo, New England. That's the one we picked, like random ones, like that weren't the big picks.
Yeah.
So there's just like I think the attitude going into it when it's only $25, like in a survivor pool with friends,
Yeah.
you don't care that much. It's like how I feel about fantasy football. Guess what, guys? I don't care about my $100 entry fee. I care about my $18 million win on Circa, and you guys are bitching about your players getting hurt. I do not care about fantasy. I do not want to. Can I also say something? I don't want to talk to people in real life about fantasy anymore. That is it. Do not
Anymore?
approach me.
Did we ever want that? No one wants to hear about anyone else's team. That is
I
a
went
rule.
to a bar with a mutual friend on Friday night. All everybody was doing was bitching about fantasy football. And I was like, I literally do not care about anything fantasy football. Do not approach me with fantasy.
I'll say this about fantasy football: it's more luck based than ever.
It
The
is.
injuries of it all, the who you're playing, the matchup. You can have a terrible week and be 1-0. You can have a great week and play a good team.
Yeah.
You're 0-1. The variability of it is crazy. And you're right. Now that I'm locked in on the DraftKings Sportsbook, as you know,
There you
I'm
go.
enjoying my bets, and it's all
great.
like it's me. I'm in control of it, much more than my fantasy team even. So
Yeah.
I just want to be the one who gets the credit when they do
That's
good,
right.
who gets the criticism when they do poorly, and that's why we're talking about you and your decision making today, Mike, because
Yes.
it just hurts. Now, I want to back up because this whole show is built around survivor and betting strategy.
yeah,
I want to back up a week to week 3 of the NFL season. The
Okay.
Bills were playing on Thursday
Yes.
Night Football against the Dolphins, and there were options on Sunday. One of the options of that week was the Seahawks at home against the Saints. Take us back to that decision. Do you think the decision to take the Bills against the Dolphins, that was tied at halftime also, kind of a close
know,
game.
it
Was that
yeah.
the decision that doomed you because you could have had the Bills in your back pocket for a tough week last week?
So going into week 3, it was our decision. We power rank our top 3 favorite survivor picks that week. Mine was the Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers. His mutual friends was Green Bay and then Buffalo.
Oh, that's
So-
right. That was Green Bay against Cleveland.
Yeah. So we would have been out week 3 if we went with Green Bay. So it was like, wow, we survived this week. And then all week we talked about it and we're just like, this feels like the right play. I see everybody playing all these other teams. Houston did not feel like a team that I wanted to play.
They were 0-3. We talked about it last
0-3.
week. I said Houston was a sharp play last week. However, at 0-3, you're like, it takes some big balls to do it. And it was a great play.
And I think that's the key thing here. Mutual friend feels the pressure. When he was drunk, he was opening up to me. It's like, it's too much pressure.
Oh, no.
Mutual friend said his wife was like, I've never seen you like this before. Honestly, I think it's good for his goddamn health that we're out of this pool because
And he was only 3 weeks in and it was like that? Oh my gosh, Mike. And he would have been, you're right, he would have been eliminated if not for you on the Packers Browns in week 3. So you did give him an extra week, it seems like.
It was a team decision. No one's fault. We both thought Green Bay, but I said bloodbath's coming. We gotta play safe this week. And what'd you find out? We were the bloodbath that got eliminated. I will say this week is also tough, and I don't know if you want to jump right into it or talk about anything else, but we can talk Survivor right now.
Yeah.
I thought this week was tough. Even if I survived this week, I thought it was a tough play. Now, if you have Buffalo left, obviously it's an easy play, but I have them ranked here if you want me to go over what I think.
So you're saying last week Buffalo was easy play. And just to let people know, I did Buffalo last week. That was my plan from week 3 on. I was looking ahead. I was looking at week 3. Seahawks against the Saints. Great. Yep. Oh, New Orleans. I get to pick on them again in week 4. Buffalo's there. Oh, I have a family wedding. Oh, I won't be watching ball. Oh, let me not worry about it at all. If I would have been on the Chargers and I'm getting texts, like I caught up on the group text later on, Mike, and you guys were going back and forth in real time. That would have been so stressful for me. But to be on the Bills against the Saints, it was carefree. It was a carefree Sunday. And that's what Survivor is all about sometimes. Are you there? Are you still there, Mike? Mike is frozen. Mike is frozen on my end. No idea if he's coming or going. I can't say for sure. He's going to come back. He's going to come back to us.
Sorry.
And he's back, just like that.
Oh my God, my whole computer just like shut down. All right, I'm back. So you can keep going, I guess. I guess we're still streaming and recording. So
we're live everywhere. You left me hanging, but I knew we were live, and I just kept talking to the people. But you're back, all good. Where were we? We were talking about the Bills and a carefree Sunday is where I was at. And we're setting up for this week, you're right? So we can finally spin it forward and stop talking about your failures as a gambling person. This week is a tough week. Now, there's a few good teams available, like the Lions, right? They're a big favorite, 10 points against the Bengals. Now, I texted you on Monday. I was like, Mike, get back on the horse, get back on the bicycle, get back on that Broncos money line. Broncos would have been another nice Survivor pick last week, and that had to hurt a little bit more too.
Well, Jeremy, I took your advice. This is for the road to 10K. I know we lost last week, but I'm like, I got to get back into this. We still have a lot of season left. I put $250 in. I won the Broncos bet Monday night, and it was just like, okay, I'm back. I'm ready to gamble. I'm here. Now, I will say, I feel a little bit more nervous. I felt like I was confident in the first few weeks. Now I'm like, who do I pick? But let's talk
Mike,
Survivor
first. Mike, you should be nervous for Survivor. You have had 4 selections in Survivor. I just want the people to know, 3 of them came down to the wire. You had 1 sweat-free week in your 4 weeks. Me, not to brag, but I've had 3 sweat-free weeks. I only had to sweat a crazy game. Now, it's funny that I should have been eliminated in week 2 by Russell Wilson, and the same Giants who did eliminate you in the end. Would have been ironic, obviously. I survived that game somehow, but I've had sweat-free weeks since then.
So who are you going with this week? Because I don't have a lot of options available. Buffalo's not available for me. I have Arizona as one of my top picks, Detroit, Indy, and the Rams. Now, I thought the Rams tomorrow night, but it's a division game. We see everybody out. Brock Purdy's out. Purcell's out. A lot of guys injured on that team.
I wouldn't go against the 3-1 49ers on a short week in the division. I just don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. The biggest favorite of the week it was surprising to me, actually. I thought the Cardinals would be the bigger favorite, but it was the Lions on the road, 10.5 against the Bengals. The Bengals look bad on Monday. Really bad. They're QB down. They're not everything down. I feel like they're going to bounce back at some point, and they could really hurt someone, and it might be this week with everyone getting on the Lions. Jared Goff and the Lions are not good on the road. I would not be betting on the Lions this week. For me, it's easy. It's the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals
Okay.
against the Titans.
Easy. Okay.
The
And you didn't
Cardinals.
use them.
I haven't used them. You guys
Okay.
used the Cardinals in Circa. So I was going to ask you if you were in Circa this week, what would you do knowing the Cardinals were used?
If we in our pool, we set up, we're playing Detroit next week. But that was also like, hey, if anybody else gets injured, what happens? Are these teams good? Indy's also a good play. But yeah,
Is
it is
that
a scary.
against the Raiders?
Yeah, against the Raiders, which could be a scary game. But I think, do we think that the Indy is actually a real good team based off how they played against the Rams? Do we think it's actually like, it's not just like, first 3 weeks, like no one knows what's going on. Is Indy good?
I think Indy is actually good. Indiana Jones is actually decent. Everyone is succeeding outside of New York. Even Jackson
love
Dart's
it.
succeeding in New York. So it might be a new era there. I think the Colts are real. I think the Raiders are a good team to pick on. But the pause is that the Raiders have been playing better when they get out of Vegas. And they play better. They went to New England and won a game in week 1. It was several weeks ago. They're going on the road to Indy. They might feel better there. They might sleep better outside of Vegas. This might be a thing for a Vegas home team where we need to monitor this. Are they actually better on the road outside of a crazy environment? And so I don't like that game too much. I feel good with the Cardinals. They played last Thursday night, so they had extra rest, time to get locked in. Cam Ward and the Titans seem to be getting worse as the year goes on. It was week 1 against the Broncos. It was kind of close. They've been getting blown out more and more since. If I had to do it all over again, I would have taken the Texans last week. We talked about it on the show. I said I feel good about the Texans. I said the only issue is they're 0-3, and it takes huge balls to drop your balls on the table and take an 0-3 team, but they look great.
2 things. One, do you feel comfortable now that there are no starting running backs that started the year with Arizona? Trey Benson out for a few weeks. Now they have like the backup or practice squad running back there right now. Kyler Murray, they seem shaky. The whole team seems shaky. Marvin Harrison looks like he no longer wants to play football, and he's just kind of like, oh, a ball's coming. Should I catch it? Probably not. That's what's going on.
You're right. That was last Thursday night. They looked terrible against the Seahawks. And then I go to bed because games end so late here on the East Coast. You can't stay up end of these games. You think I saw any of that 40-40 Cowboys tie? Are you kidding me? I missed the entire second half of that on the East Coast. These game times are crazy. I'm such an old man. I want to be back on the West Coast. No, the Cardinals are not okay, but they actually looked better in that game. Toward the end, they improved it. When I was going to bed, my point is they were getting blown out 2 weeks ago on Thursday night. Now, at the end of the game, it was 23-20. They had a chance to win it at the end. They looked better. They got it together. I don't know the Call of Duty schedule. Kyler Murray does scare me. In fantasy football, I'm out on Kyler Murray. He's not a good fantasy QB anymore. He can beat Cam Ward and the Titans.
Thoughts on playing Houston this week? This might be a good spot for them. Lamar's out.
My God.
Could be like a sneaky play. Like if you really want to like get some, little power ratings towards the future of some other teams. Because I don't know if they're actually a good team, but I think with Lamar, I don't think the spread could be big enough. Even though we're not going to play a spread here, they just got to win the game. Lamar is that team. I don't care if you have Derrick Henry. I don't even know who the backup is. Who is the backup? It's
the backup's Cooper Rush. Nothing like Lamar. It's gonna be a little different back there. It's gonna be a little different offense.
Now, it could be better.
To answer your question, I'm thinking about Survivor much differently than what you just said. I'm thinking about Survivor almost more so on the opponent than the team I'm actually playing. Because I actually went through a list, Mike. I have now selected my potential survivors through week 16. I know you might not want to do that because you might not keep going, but I'm gonna keep going, and I got them through week 16. And my common thread as I was going through my list was, it's not really about who you're picking in Survivor, it's who you're picking against. So far this year, through 4 weeks, I've only picked against 2 opponents. I picked against the Giants in week 1 and 2. I picked against the Saints in weeks 3 and 4. And now, as we go forward, I'm going to start to pick on the Titans. And then the next week, the Packers are playing the Bengals. Pick on the Bengals. And then the next week, the Saints are playing the Bears in Chicago. I'll take the Bears. And so I'm almost following like the same 3 teams, the same 3 shitty teams in the league. And if we can assume they're going to win 1 or 2 games all year, I just won't be on them that week, and I could get it right all the way. That's
Do you think the Saints got a little sneaky good? Like they really played tough against Buffalo. Now, is Buffalo's defense bad? Maybe, but it was a relatively close game for what it should have been, right? It was like 19-30 or something. Like
it was. It was. And Saints covered the game. It's 14.5 line. Yeah. Now, does that give me pause? The Bills played the previous Thursday night. They came out after a long wait, 10 days, and they looked a little sloppy against the Saints. That's fair. Does that give me pause against Cardinals? Possibly. No, I don't think the Saints are any good. No, Spencer Rattler's no good. I mean, they're 0-4 for a reason.
So obviously it gets tougher as we go on because we run out of good teams to play, but that's why it's a scary game to play because Survivor, you got to survive. So you're going with Arizona. I like Arizona for one of our 2 picks. I might throw Detroit in there now that we no longer have that rule because we're not playing in Circa. We do not have to play Thanksgiving as its own week, so we have a little more opportunity to play different teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's honestly comes down to the pressure. If you didn't care and you blindly pick the top spread over the last few weeks, you would still be in it, and we overthought a lot of it. So just keep doing what everybody's doing, and you'll keep moving along.
Jackson Dart is legit. Like in my best bets this week, which might be a good time to transition to it, I'm taking Jackson Dart and the Giants against the
Wow.
Saints.
Okay. Yeah. Give me your best bets, and then I want to talk. I want to go over the road to 10K with you, and we're gonna make the bet live on the air instead of me doing it Monday when you tell me that's a terrible bet and then I lose.
That's probably for the best. Try to save you a little better here. Why'd you tie Survivor and 10K together? Could there have been a version where you don't tie them together?
I didn't. That was Monday. I made that decision on my own. I said I like the Chargers this week. I think it's a great play. Also, I'm kind of looking for that little extra like. Give me a better odds on this so I win a little bit more when I'm doing it instead of just picking like Detroit this week. But yeah, I picked Chargers. Then we talked all week and we're like, I think Chargers is the pick, and that's what we went with. And we waited till the last minute
to the podcast. Did you?
Didn't know.
This podcast. You didn't listen back to it.
All right. What are your best bets?
My best bets, and then we'll get to your road to 10K starting at 100 or so. I like the Giants, as I mentioned, on the road at the Saints. Why are they getting 2.5? Tell me why this line makes sense. You're a Saints guy over there, but I don't get it.
I think the Saints are a little frisky. They're on the road. They're in the Dome. They're in New Orleans. Giants rookie in the Dome. Can't be an easy place to play. And they're basically saying these are even teams coming in, right? Almost like you're at home. I think the average is usually like -2 for home field advantage, maybe a little less. But we're saying these are even teams. They're coming in, even teams. Now, we saw last week, the problem is we only have a 1 game sample size as Jackson Dart. He looked frisky. He was running the ball. They're down Malik Neighbors. Is this still going to be the same team? Scatterboo looks like he's like, the savior of the team. He's got energy. Finally feels like, but they're also, it's a rookie. So we don't know. Honestly, during that Chargers game, I was like, he's a rookie. He's going to make a lot of mistakes, but it's actually the Chargers.
The Neighbors injury did suck because he looks super electric. I know you had him in fantasy football. You took him in the first round in our home league, Mike.
Yeah, I don't like fantasy. No one cares.
The Giants. Okay, so the Saints are 0-4. The Giants should be 2-2. You say that they're evenly matched teams. I think Vegas has that wrong. 1, 2. Jackson Dart came from Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a short drive from Ole Miss to New Orleans Superdome. He's gonna have all his college buddies. All his old teammates from Ole Miss hyping him up, giving him confidence pregame. Also, he went to LSU and won big games in the state of Louisiana for Ole Miss. And so I like Jackson Dart this week against the Saints. They're +2.5. Get that line now. I think it should be -2 for the Giants.
I have the Giants and Pats in a tease. I thought that'd be a fun week to tease them a little. I don't even know who the Pats
Who do the Pats have?
Who do they have? Why?
They're playing the Bills on Sunday night? Why'd you grab the Pats?
Well, if I'm going to tease it up, it'd be like, 12 or something? So that'd be a nice 12, 13 points. I feel like that's a frisky play right there, right? They always used to play him hard. So hopefully they play him hard this week, get a little tease. I'm trying different things out. Last week shook me. It was not good. I was at the park when it happened. I was playing with James at the park. We were hanging out. I was getting I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, tell me what's happening. And it was bad. So
well, was it better that you were at the park with your kid? It's almost like this shit doesn't matter. I'm with my kid at the park. Or was it actually worse that you didn't know what was going on when you were with your kid at the park?
I mean, tell you the truth, I had full confidence in the Chargers. I was like, there's no fucking way. And then I would tune in and have my AirPod in. And I hear Scott Hansen be like, this would be the biggest upset of the century. I'm like, this can't happen. This literally cannot happen. and it did.
And it's fair to blame some of our Chargers listeners who clearly influence you. You've never been a Chargers guy as much as you are.
Never.
And Mike
And
literally
I'm not
started last
anymore.
week's show. Never again. But you literally started last week's show apologizing. And I said, like, there's 30. You just apologized to the 30 Chargers fans out there. And I got shit for that, but it's true. There's very few. There's double digits of them. And then Thomas, another Chargers friend, he's been working on you for years on the Chargers, saying they're for real. They're for real. They haven't been for real up until now, maybe. But it's like you finally bought the hype at the worst time. And then also, like, the 10 a.m. team going out east, it's in the manifesto, Mike. I know you have that one in there.
I know. All right.
A few others. You mentioned the Texans. I would not pick them in Survivor. It's all about the opponent in Survivor. The Ravens are wounded. The Ravens don't have their QB. The Ravens are also pissed that people are writing them out at 1-3. Cooper Rush filled in for Dak Prescott and won games for the Cowboys. The Ravens can definitely win this game. Now, in best bets, I'll take the Texans -1.5. But in Survivor, I wouldn't touch the Texans against the Ravens.
I agree. I mean, I didn't put them in my best bets, but I do agree. I think they can win the game. I think it's like Lamar is the team. Definitely a good bet to throw in there. I might add in there.
But they're pissed. So the Ravens are pissed, and like beware the pissed player. The Bengals are pissed after being embarrassed on Monday night. Beware the pissed teams.
I'm teasing the Seahawks this week. I like them at home. I think it's +4.5 if I tease them. Playing the Bucks. Bucks look a little injured right now.
Game. That could be like a playoff preview.
Like a little throwback jerseys on that week.
Who do you root for in that game?
I don't know. It's a tough one. But Baker, I don't know. How's his knee doing? What's going on with Bucky? It feels like there's a lot of questions over there.
Bucky's on crutches today, so maybe get on the Seahawks.
Yeah, so Seahawks, I like that one. It will be a fun game to watch, but that's definitely in my best bet. Also, just a fun one. If you want to add this in here, I don't know if DraftKings offers it, but my offshore does. I'm taking the Colts with an alternative spread at -10 this week. I think they are a good team.
Or how many points you moving it?
I'm moving it from, where are the Colts here? Sorry, I'm looking at my
Against the
board.
Raiders.
Yeah, Colts are
7.5?
-6. So it's -6.5. So I'm moving it to -10. Might be 10.5 depending on which book you go to, but I'm gonna move it. I like the alternate spreads. I listen to a lot of these guys. I wish I could shout out some of their Substacks. I pay for their Substacks. They have great picks at the end. They're wild. They're like, you're gonna get 400 to 1 odds on some bets. But this is what I really like this week. Colts alternative line -10. I think they're gonna come out. They're gonna play hard, and I think they're a better team, even better than we think. And I think the Raiders defense is not very good. And
so
also,
you should be taking the Colts in Survivor this week.
I would like to, but on one of them, we already took the Colts. So I have to do like Arizona Colts or one of the combos. I love Arizona Colts this week.
Yeah. Oh, you love the Colts and Arizona, it sounds like.
And Arizona, yeah.
My last best bet is Jaguars Monday night. I love a team getting points at home in a primetime game. The Patriots are a little bit an example of this, but they have to play the Bills. But Mahomes and the Chiefs, I know Xavier Worthy's back. Are they fixed, or is Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, broken? I'm still not sure. They're at Jacksonville. Jags +3.5, a rowdy home crowd on Monday night. I like them there.
You like the Jags? They're playing the Chiefs, right?
The Chiefs, yeah.
You like them playing?
I feel like +3.5 at home on Monday night.
They're just getting their mojo back. I feel like the Jags are a fake team. I don't know what the whole sign stealing thing is. Remember, you saw that over the
San Francisco. Yeah.
That. So they have a way to legally steal sign signals that the people are doing on the side. I didn't know they did that in the NFL. I thought it was more like a college thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, if they're going like this or like this or like, hey, what's going on? But
I saw the coaches yelling at each other, but that's all I really saw from it. But the Jags did beat the Niners in San Francisco. That's got to mean something. So if they're going home with confidence, they can beat the Chiefs.
I don't know. The Chiefs are looking a little better. I don't want to rule out the Chiefs. I know I did at the beginning of the season, but they looked better last week, so it gives me a little hope.
I'm not sold on the Chiefs. I'm here to tell you the Chargers are still the team to beat in that division. Even you can agree with that.
The Chiefs are in the division?
The Chargers are the best team in the division.
The Chargers right now in the division? I would agree they have the best record, but I don't know if they're the best team, because I feel like they might be outcoached at some point. And if they're losing to the New York Giants, there's obviously flaws on the team. And I don't know. It's just weird when you watch them. You want to think like, damn, they're really good, but Then I remember I can't name any of the wide receivers. I don't know what's going on. I feel like they're just, it's all like the Justin.
He's pretty good. He had one catch against the Giants, but he's pretty good. Keenan Allen's back.
But it's almost like people love Justin Herbert so much that they just blindly will take him in. I'm over it. I'm over the Chargers.
Well, he's been overhyped his whole career, and it's like he finally got to 3-0, and it's like, wow, is Justin Herbert in the Mount Rushmore with Lamar and Burrow and Mahomes? And then he goes to lose to a rookie Jackson Dart. It's like, yeah, Justin Herbert is who we thought he was. You just got sucked in by our Chargers fans listeners. I'm getting fired up about it, Mike. I forgot.
Good.
Like you started last week's show with an apology to Chargers fans, then took them in Survivor. They should be recording apologies for you.
For sure.
We should be playing them on this show. We know 2 Chargers fans at least out of only 30 in the world. We know 2 of them. So they better be sending their videos apologizing to you so we can play back on next week's show because they clearly influenced you in a bad way.
They did. It was really bad. All right. So road to 10K lost on the Chargers. We're going to say Chargers a lot this week.
What was it at?
I was at 575 and I was going to go up. If I won, I would have been at like almost 800. So we're back. So I jumped in, I texted you, and I'm going to put it in our Substack. I said, road to 10K died. Thoughts on doubling down and betting LAC again this week.
That was a crazy text.
You don't know if Daniels will be back. How about starting it on Broncos money line? And I said, good idea. And I went ahead and I bet it. So now we have $300 to play with this week. And we're on the road to 10K again.
How'd you make $200 on a $100?
No, I put 250 in. I put 250 in.
Okay, you made 50.
So we won $50.
Yeah, the line wasn't good on that, but we moved it up. We bumped it up, so that was good.
We bumped it up. So now it's like, what are my options? And I have multiple options. I was like, well.
Mike was ready to bet on the Chargers again on Monday before he knew Jaden Daniels is going to play or not in LA, which is going to move the line like 3 or 4 points either way.
So this week I'm thinking, do we just go really hard and catch up to the week we're at, right? I already made a bet this week. We bet Monday night. Do we bet the Rams Thursday night against a beat up San Francisco, take those winnings, and then go bet maybe Indy, maybe the Giants in New Orleans, maybe Arizona? Do we try to get back? And look, we're already 3-4 weeks deep, basically, if we get back to this. Your thoughts?
I don't like the Thursday night game this week. The Rams look good. The Niners look bad. But there's a lot going on here. It's a divisional matchup. It's a short week. We have old quarterbacks on both sides, especially Stafford. Is Mac Jones back for San Francisco? He's actually better than Purdy. Purdy's toe hurts again. Mac Jones is better than he's better than Purdy. Yeah. I'm telling you right now he's better.
I don't know. He doesn't. He like cried when he won. Like that's where his
you didn't like his body and you didn't like his clothes. You can't criticize the man as a QB when those are the issues you have with him.
I'm just saying, I don't think Mac Jones is the answer, but also wasn't he a little injured the previous week when Purdy stepped in?
I think Purdy raced back from injury last week because he saw Mac Jones play well against the Saints the week before. So it's all this, and then Purdy re-injured himself, and now he can't get back out there for the Rams. Stafford, I feel like it takes him a lot to get to game day at this point. The way we heard at training camp, the whole back thing, he's like not doing well during the week, and it's like a lot to get to Sunday. Now you got to cut that time in half, get him to Thursday night. This is a 5 p.m. game time on Thursday. It's like literally only half the week. It might as well be on Wednesday. So I don't like betting on Stafford.
You don't like it?
I want you to pick out a game you really, really love on Sunday, and I want you to sweat through it, and I want you to love it. I want you to be a part of NFL Sundays because I'm worried about you not enjoying NFL Sundays anymore.
I enjoy NFL Sundays, but it is a lot of pressure when there's it's hard to think about 2 different ways of gambling, right? When you're thinking point spread and you're doing pick 'em pools, which we're also in, and then you're doing survivor pools, and then you're trying to gamble on it. It's a lot to wrap your head around because you have different opinions during the week. Well, like, oh yeah, this guy could cover, but does that mean they don't win the game? What's going on here? So yeah, I just want to pick a winner. I do think Indy is the winner this week. The more risky bet, which could be a little bit more money, you play the Giants against the Saints. That could be a fun one, but I don't know. I gotta fester over it for a little bit. I thought I was gonna make it live here, but you just wrote me off the Rams. I was like, I was gonna go all in on the Rams after I saw the alert on my phone saying, hey, all these guys are injured. Time to get free money.
At some point this year, you're going to start listening to me on the podcast to
I
try to
know.
save some money over there. So if it's this
I know.
week, that'd be great because I'll come on here after the Niners win and give it to you again. Maybe just get to Sunday. Pick out a game you love for
Okay.
Sunday. The Colts. You said the Colts. Maybe tease it down a little bit or hit that Colts money line. I don't know. Maybe just
I
get
might
a
do the
Colts.
money line. It's just tough when the
I know, you're
odds
not
are
making
so.
much. I know.
Yeah, you're not making much. So that's
I
the
know.
thing. It's like, do we want to make a lot or do we want to survive? I can log in and
We
kind of
want
see
both,
where we're
right?
at.
We want both.
We want both. So that's why the Giants is a fun play as well. But yeah, I'll find out. I'll put it in the Substack and everybody can see it. I know we don't have a lot of chatter on our Substack, but we got chatter on the Substack. People are asking where the show is. We're
Oh.
here. There was, you were at a wedding. I was mourning my $18 million loss. And now we're here on a Wednesday. We're live streaming on YouTube. We'll try to live stream a little bit. And if people can tune in there as well. You got anything else? You want to do anything else?
Yeah, I got a few things. One is the least watchable game. There's always a game this time of year where Red
What's your
Zone
least
should just
watchable?
say, don't put it in the quad box. Don't actually put it on Red Zone all Sunday long. Panthers Dolphins is a real life NFL matchup this week. Bryce Young against Tua. You saw what happened to Tyreek. Do you believe my team is cursed yet after that?
The way Tyreek was smiling when he got off the field and you saw his knee basically dislocated from his whole body and he was happy about it. Yeah. People want to get the hell out of there. It's not
That was
good.
the big joke, Mike, and that was a big meme. I don't think we should joke about it. I think Tyreek was literally in shock. You know, when someone's like in a serious accident, apparently he was actually in shock because of the pain and the craziness of it. And that's why he was like acting that way. Even in the ambulance, people are taking video of him down I-95 and he's like laughing in the ambulance. But apparently it was so severe and painful. Like that was his weird CTE neurological reaction to it. So that was crazy. My team is cursed. Like we won a game and Tyreek's leg goes the wrong way, and that's like all I have. So that was a terrible thing. Don't watch Panthers Dolphins. That's one thing I had.
Do you want to? I mean, I wanted to bring it up because I felt like this. I know you didn't want to talk NBA, but I felt like this was more investigative reporting. Pablo Torres has been going around. You've seen it all over. I have like a timeline of everything with Steve Ballmer and the Clippers and everything like that. And then I saw a report today that they were sponsored on Monday. Their jerseys are sponsored by Rwanda or something. And everything just feels like, what is Ballmer doing? Like Ballmer has to know that $20 million, and I know he's rich. I know he's got billions of dollars, but you can't just let $20 million go to a fake organization and give out money. But I thought it was really interesting, this investigative reporting. It felt like we haven't had this in a while. And I started listening to the podcast. I'm like, this is what we need again. We need people diving deep, giving us facts, and then all the owners coming out be like, oh no, Steve's great. Mark Cuban coming out be like, Steve would never do that. Not at all.
Pablo
there's gotta
Torre
be
and
a
Mark Cuban
punishment.
are fighting about this on
Yeah.
Twitter. You're right. It's kind of the anti-TikTok of it all. Like we just want instant clips usually, but this is like
Yeah.
long-form investigative
Yeah,
journalism that
loved
takes
it.
time and resources and interviews. It's so rare, and maybe we should bring that back because society's kind of falling apart around short-form video because that's all people are getting. A few things. One, rich people stay rich because they are protective of their money, and Steve Ballmer does not stay rich by having 25 to 30 to 50 million dollars disappear. So I think he was involved in this. We can't say that legally until it comes out, but he's not looking good right now. Shout out to Pablo Torre for digging in. I think he's uncovering this one. I think there's going to be other NBA teams.
Yeah.
I've heard some rumors, maybe Kawhi's past teams, like with Toronto Raptors, for example. Maybe the Knicks did something sketchy with Jalen Brunson. This could be a huge scandal.
Did you see there was a report saying that Kawhi, if he was considering the Lakers, he wanted a percentage owned of the Lakers to go to that team? And this is stuff like, maybe this is the norm. Maybe you're like, you ask everything and see what they say yes to. But this is crazy. And Kawhi doesn't seem like the guy. He seems so quiet. It must be his business manager. I saw him in a press interview. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I got paid. Like, got to check the books. It was a few years ago. It's like, dude, when you're getting $20 million checks cut to you from some random like forest company or something, and you have no idea, like that's kind of crazy. So it's
kinda
some wild
crazy.
shit.
It seems bad. It seems bad, and we'll see what else they uncover. I don't like it. I don't like the sketchiness, but it's not surprising. I think we talked about when Caleb Williams was being drafted, his dad asked for like a
Yeah,
piece of the
percentage.
Bears, a piece of equity. We saw the NFL recently with ESPN. ESPN did a deal with the NFL, and instead of like a whole transaction, they just did equity, and so maybe equity does become a part of this for athletes at some point.
Does what do you think the end of this, if Steve Ballmer is basically found guilty, which it sounds like we're not going to find out until the end of this current
Well, they have the
season?
NBA All-Star game, and so Adam Silver said nothing will be revealed until after the All-Star game.
Now, when you're that rich, I feel like there's multiple layers to a lot of things. So it's like if he wasn't signing anything, but there's LLCs and organizations started because of his fund and all this stuff. It seems like it's a far stretch, but does he potentially lose the team? Do they lose draft picks?
Could.
What happens?
Yeah.
And is this has to be some sort of punishment to be like, guys, we can't give secret hush money to players that don't actually do anything. Obviously, you can get endorsements outside the NBA, but it seems like these guys were like, hey, you got to give me $30 million to come here and do it some other way.
That is the fascinating part, is will the NBA step up and dole out a real punishment and real things that are necessary to deal with what happened here? Because what happened in MLB when someone like Shohei Ohtani was betting on baseball through his own account, betting thousands of dollars, they swept it under the rug, blamed someone else, and quickly moved on. And now Shohei's in the playoffs, hitting home runs, making money.
Very quickly
and it
moved
just
on.
continues, right? It just the money printing machine continues for MLB.
Yeah.
NBA wants the money printing machine to continue. The All-Star game's in LA. The Clippers are a decent team. Ballmer pumps a lot of money into it. So that is something that could happen. But I want the NBA to actually thoroughly investigate it, unlike MLB, which looked at Ohtani and quickly looked the other way so he could still make money in the playoffs.
I think it's a tough space to be in because if something doesn't happen, is the commissioner involved? Like, how deep does this go? Like, it seems like there's going to be more reporting soon on some other teams. So is it a commissioner's fault? Does the new commissioner have to step in and like say, hey, we got to do this? Wasn't there like weren't they trying to like say like NBA will play like European stars for like the NBA championship or something? Like, I felt like they're trying to do new things to draw in new fans. I mean, the NFL is doing it as well, but playing
Is that what the
overseas.
NBA Cup will be this year? Will it be like international?
I don't know. I just feel like they're trying a lot of different things. I don't know why they're doing it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I found it super interesting. Listen to his podcast. It's a great deep dive on fraud if you want to know how to do fraud incorrectly.
And it is October 1st. NBA season starts in October. Mike, I didn't realize this, but you put this in the rundown for a reason, to promo NBA opening night on NBC and Peacock on October 21st, less than 3 weeks away, a new rights partner, and that's very exciting. Before we go, we talk a lot on this show about sports costing too much money, and everything costs too much, and you can't bring your family to anything, and nothing's affordable. I went to the Ryder Cup last week. Shout out. This merchandise was not affordable at all, but got some good merch. But at the Ryder Cup, Mike, all non-alcoholic drinks, water, Gatorade, soda, all the food, burgers, fries, chips, cookies, it's all free and unlimited to everyone. 50,000 people a day eating and drinking for free. Once you're in, they want to take care of you. More sports need to adopt this.
I like that.
I want free concessions, free bottled water, free parking, free in-game like screens or little audio devices. I want to pay enough for the game. If you're going to charge me as much as I'm getting charged, make it more worth it. This was a great step forward. Shout out to the PGA of America. Shout out to anyone who is making things more affordable for sports fans, because we need to come back to earth.
It's weird because it feels like a Vegas thing too, where everybody's like, they don't want to go to Vegas because it's costs a lot for a hotel.
Yeah.
Then you're going to gamble. Then you're going to eat in an expensive restaurant. Parking, you're going to do all this. It does seem like people are finally realizing, like, we took advantage of, like, Vegas from the time we went 10 years ago to today. It is at least 2 to 3x more expensive than it used to be when you could find $5 tables at New York. You can't do that anymore.
You're right. It lost its, like, what made Vegas special. And I think a lot of sports are making it. A lot of people are complaining about that. It's so corporate at these sports events now, because only corporate people and rich people's kids can go to events. Everyone should be able to go to an event. Everyone should be able to afford it, pick and choose. And I think this is a great way to do it. Free food, free drinks for everyone.
I love it. All right. Check out sportshangover.com. Go to our YouTube page, subscribe there, subscribe on Substack. We're all over the place. We're live streaming right now too. So the video is up and ready for people to watch. So it's good.